This is the John Brown Alliance, where we don't fear, we fight. Why on earth would you comply or get in a car or allow yourself to be questioned by someone who is telling you what the law is based on Donald Trump? Why would you surrender your freedom to someone who is breaking the law? Breaking the law. Since Donald Trump stole this last election, and I believe he did, he has released rapists and murderers out on the streets of Washington, D.C. At the same time, he convinced 1/3 of white people in America, and some black celebrities, I hate to say, to believe that people, brown people, people who spoke Spanish, sometimes Indian people, or people from Haiti, were rapists, murderers, and drug dealers. Yet everybody's waiting for these Epstein files, and I guarantee you that you're going to find all of the elements of the things that Donald Trump claimed he was ridding American cities of. I'm talking drugs, human trafficking, rapists, and murderers. And I think you'll find that all in the Epstein files. But some of us are not interested in that, because right now, if you look like me, you have to protect yourself. So, I would like to say, right now, because I'm witnessing it firsthand, living outside the DMV, that there are two individuals I think are responsible for an almost exclusively white resistance to Donald Trump right now in Washington, D.C. One of them is comedian Cliff Cash, and the other is a man named Paul Lance, a Christian, as far as I know, that is calling out this type of behavior on a daily basis. Now, what I'm about to say is not going to sit well with a lot of people. Right now, the news, MSNBC and CNN, is about 5 days behind reality. And they're still asking questions. I don't know if it's to get ratings or what it's for, but what do we do? How do we do this? What laws it? And they're bringing all these experts in. And I think some of the experts are getting tired, because they're also podcasters, of answering these stupid questions every day about what to expect, what's going to happen. The fact of the matter is this: if you are an intellectual individual that understands cause and effect and how things go, you would understand that the longer we deal with this on the level that they want us to deal with it on, the worse it's going to get. There is going to be no peaceful protest that makes everybody wake up and say, hey, this is, all due respect to those people who do that. However, I told you back on President's Day that no matter how many peaceful protests take place in the United States between then and now, Donald Trump is going to find an excuse to put the military in the streets of Washington, D.C., and he did. And I also told you that was going to be where the revolution starts. But I digress. Here's what we're left with. You can continue to try to convince people to come to DC, try to convince people to care, try and convince people to take a pay cut or take a few days off for a general strike. Or you can tell them that if they do not participate, it's not a matter of what your future will be like. It's a matter of if you have a future. Because every single one of you knows deep down inside of you that this administration doesn't care about you. And by working your job every day and paying your taxes, all you're doing is buying just a little more time. But the final solution in the end is going to result the same way it did during World War II with your extermination. And I do not say that lightly. I absolutely mean it. So you either pay now or you pay later. Now, people that have been talking about a general strike have given you enough time to get your little money together, move into your grandmother's house. Many people now live in a multi-generational house. This is what survival is about. This is what it means. Taking the cues and acting upon them. And since 2016, just like Michael Moore and other people, I've been warning people about this day. And now we're here. The difference between me and them is we took steps. We stockpiled food. We got our people together who couldn't afford to live by themselves. We pooled our money together. We started growing things and preserving them. That's what we did. Instead of talking on YouTube about the latest news. So where does that leave you? If you're terrified, you should be. But you shouldn't go to sleep at night and wake up the next day and expect something else. The very definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over again, expecting a different result. And that is what we have done election after election after election. So here we are. So what we're left with is this. As sad as it is for me to say, the DC Metropolitan Police Department, the National Guard, and every segment of the United States military right now belongs to Donald Trump. The Justice Department, everything that has to do with policing. Let that sink in. What that means is they are hell-bent on carrying out his objective, unlawful orders against citizens of the United States of America, against your constitutional rights, against your First, Second, and Third Amendment rights. So here's what you need to understand. Right now, we are in a state of self-preservation, which means you need to preserve yourself and not rely on some law or someone else at any level to save you. You and your families are in danger. Every single day you walk out of the door of your house. Right now, civil rights activists are being pepper sprayed and arrested for no reason, just so they can have something on camera saying they made an arrest. Then they might be released the next day. I have it under authority to know that 400 people they claim that they locked up over the past couple days in Washington, D.C. That did not happen. You know why I know this? Because I spent my whole childhood growing up at headquarters at the Metropolitan Police Department. And there is not enough cells down there to hold these people. Now you have DC jail and a few other facilities. But if you really want to break the system, you need to do this general strike. You need to have enough people down in Washington, D.C. to fill the jails. And if you're smart and you knew this was coming, you put away bail money. I don't think you're going to need it, but you put it away. But what we need to do right now is flood the fucking jails. Absolutely. Everybody who can get to Washington, D.C. should now. Because if D.C. falls, this is all over with. Another thing I know is there are not enough judges for all of these cases. All they want is a photo op. If you look at the White House website, you'll see pictures of all black people with arrested above their names. This is to intimidate you into not exercising your rights, into giving up your rights to hide at home. The only way this is going to work is if we do it in unison together at the same time. So on September 1st, we need to begin this general strike. No excuses. The first people we need to shut this system down is air traffic controllers, pilots, stewardesses, and TSA agents. What are they going to do? There's 26 air traffic controllers right now at National Airport. If half of them didn't show up for work, what are they going to do? Fucking fire you? And if they do, so what? They're going to be asking you to come back to work the next week. We need to shut this shit down. If you want to have a job in 2026, much less an election, if you want to have a food on your table in 2026, much less an election, you better do this now. You better pay now so you don't have to pay later. And if you think I'm kidding, I haven't been wrong about anything since 2016 and Donald Trump got elected. I even predicted that dipshits were going to elect him again, and they did. With the help of gerrymandering, stolen election, a whole lot of MSNBC and CNN covering him ad nauseum, and other things. But I'll tell you this. Time has run out. And right now, you can't sit here and talk about what Democrat isn't doing this or what Republican isn't doing that. You need to look out for yourself. If you see them, you need to get the fuck out of Dodge, because you have no idea who's about to arrest you. They're not going to read you your rights, which Miranda rights is the law. But under Trump's law, they can just drag you out of a car. The only way to stop this is for us to do it together. This isn't the Hunger Games, okay? This is not the Hunger Games. This is straight up, The Walking Dead. And what you're dealing with is some people that need to get out of society because they are going to kill you. And if you don't believe me, just ask somebody who's lost someone in one of the concentration camps. Or just read your history they're trying to erase. Go back to the Trail of Tears. Wounded Knee. Reconstruction. slavery, Jim Crow. These people are trying to kill you. Wake up. Now, we have to leave you behind because I don't have time to keep making these videos hoping somebody's going to watch them and pay attention. Those of us who will be here long after you're gone are going to do the hard work for our children. I don't know what's going to happen to yours. I don't know what you're willing to invest. But some of us are Americans. And it wasn't a choice. And I'm one of those people. John Brown violated the law because he didn't believe in slavery. I believe he started the Civil War. Many might negate that. However, he stood up for what he believed in. There was no internet back then. It wasn't clickbait. He didn't repeat the same news cycle over and over and over and over again. He got out there and fought with people who believed in him. And he was executed. This country is still going to be here after I'm gone. But with one distinction. Washington, D.C. will not fall to Donald Trump. And the reason why is because that city was built by slaves. And the house he has decorated was built by slaves. This is a cursed man. When you walk on the bones of the ancestors, you're going to absolutely reap what you sow. Washington, D.C. is not going to fall to Donald Trump. It's not a threat. It's a scenario. We will not allow it. Some of us will succeed and some will fail. But that's all part of the process. When you talk shit and back it up with nothing, it makes you a coward. But when you're willing to stand up for what you believe in and give your life to it, that makes you a hero. This isn't about red or blue. It's about what you're going to be, who you're going to be, and how you're going to be remembered. And right now, I don't have faith in most of you, but that's okay, because I have faith in me and those like me. And we are the ones who live. That's all I have for now. This is the John Brown Alliance. Stop fearing and get to fighting.